Hello there, my good people, and welcome to the Ashiq Pramchand show. With this channel, it is my objective to show you how incredible it is to be a doctor in South Africa. So let's get started. Transitioning into the working world has been a steep learning curve for me, and I'm sure that many young medical professionals share these sentiments. My objective with these videos is to give people the full picture of what to expect when they start working in hospitals and why it's going to be such a transformative journey. And what better way to start off by throwing ourselves into the deep end. Our first day was pretty much orientation, finding out hospital logistics, losing ourselves several times in the labyrinth of our hospital corridors, and eventually finding each other, finding new friends, forming new relationships. And then we came to realize that some of the strongest relationships you can form is through suffering through a long night call together. Now you better make sure you have comfortable shoes for this one, because we're going to be on our feet for 30 hours. I'm starting off my first rotation in general surgery. Now, for those who don't know what general surgery is, it's a very broad speciality. Surgeons are responsible for changing the structure of the body. We are actively changing the anatomy of the human body. And with such immense power comes great responsibility. Responsibilities, I might add, which start to add up. Which explains why we will be on call for 30 hours together. And the weird thing is, that wasn't even a busy call. I mean, it must have been like 5, 6 a.m. when our doctors came in to review the patients that were admitted the night before. Even they were surprised to hear that there were only 2 patients who were admitted. We are fortunate enough to have our own call room exactly 12 and a half hours into the general surgery on-call experience. Isn't that right, Sunny?
Tired.
I can imagine. And this isn't even a busy call.
Right?
And the first thing they say to us is, "What kind of call was that? You guys really had it easy." So it didn't set a full precedent for what we are going to expect over the coming 3 months. It's an immense pleasure to be working within my home province. I don't think one can underestimate the value of home comforts, especially when you're shifting into such an intense new work schedule. It's the simple things. Having a ready-made breakfast at home, having your own shower, bathroom, and yet you still can develop independence. I know a lot of other junior doctors like to spread their wings and venture out into new territory, and that's also a fantastic choice to make. I felt that right now this was a decision that appeals to me, and I think will help put me into good stead for starting my career. Yeah, how do you feel about tonight's 24-hour call?
Nervous? But at the same time excited? I don't know, mixed emotions.
I think we've got this. We'll push through.
Definitely.
Nice.
The seniors are 3 of us, the seniors will be fine.
Cool. I like your thinking. Optimism.
Everything we were taught, I don't know, just
Comes to the fore. We've got
How
this.
are you feeling?
I am. So how did I feel after 30 hours on the job? Like, a lot of people would say, you know what, is that even legal? Like, what about your health? What about employee rights? Well, to be honest, it's sort of a calling. You don't really mind it once you get used to it, I would imagine. And I think it is something that will take a fair bit of time to adapt to. I mean, the weird thing is, it's not really the lack of sleep that bothered me the most. It was standing for so many hours. I mean, the greatest toll was taken on our feet, interestingly enough, and that's why a lot of doctors place a lot of emphasis on wearing comfortable shoes before you go on call. For those of you who are unfamiliar with a call is basically a set schedule that different doctors have to ensure that they cover all the work, medical work that is necessary for an overnight period. So you might start from 8 o'clock in the morning, cover your morning shift until 4 or 5 p.m. and then you would still be expected to continue working from 5 p.m. until 8 a.m. or longer the following day.
The 24-hour call begins.
But changing into a new working environment is a good thing. Through challenges, we grow stronger together, yes? I'm sure that you'll agree with me in that regard. Like, nobody said it was going to be easy. Through challenges, we grow stronger together. At least that's a common theme that I've discovered by working in the public healthcare sector and by studying it so extensively during my medical school years. You start to think more about how you're going to deliver the best possible care to a patient, because you are sort of representative of the entire healthcare system. The doctors themselves were surprised to hear that we managed to get 4 hours of sleep, which is apparently unheard of in a general surgery intake. I've seen many other groups this week alone show gratitude for getting even a single hour of sleep on a night. And you can just tell when somebody's on call. I mean, you can see these dark, sagging bags beneath their eyes.
It is now 5 a.m. You can tell from the rings forming under my eyes. And I'd say we were fortunate enough to get at least 4 hours of sleep. And that's the call.
And a sort of dazed expression on their face.
There you have it, folks. I woke up at 6:45 a.m. yesterday morning and it is now 12:30 the following day. Intense. Nothing we can't handle. It was a great call. Very few patients were admitted. Pretty quiet and fun. We learned a lot of admin work, and then we finished up with some lab investigations. Good start to the first call ever as an employed doctor.
And then you just wonder to yourself, hopefully things will be better on my call. You can't help but feel some sympathy for people on call. But when you get really into it, you sort of have a choice. Like you have a choice of how you want to approach it. A lot of people say, oh, call is happening, or you can see it as an opportunity to exercise, to meet a lot of patients, to challenge yourself to improve your efficiency in the public healthcare system. How can you maximize delivery of patient care within a limited time? And that's an incredible challenge. But with it comes rewards as well. You're forced to become a better historian, better examiner, better investigator, and then you make a management plan for a patient based on a lot of skills. And you have to master a lot of those skills in a fairly short time. But within that crucible, the development of those skills is accelerated. So I suppose I choose to see intakes as a good thing in that regard, because you're getting really good at applying your skills in a high pressure environment really quickly. And I think the more we do that, the far better it is for us to handle pressure under most circumstances. If you can handle a call, I think you can handle most challenges in the working world. And at least that's something to be optimistic about, isn't it? Oh, this green tea is amazing. I think it's from Woolworths.
And thus concludes the first day of employment.